Let's get the latest on Hillary Clinton's email scandal. There is more. Spy agencies telling Congress that some of her emails, quote, closely matched some of the government's most highly classified top-secret documents. That's the news on Hillary and the emails. Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall is with me in New York today. Welcome to the show, Leslie.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you.
I don't think that news on Hillary's emails is going to affect her candidacy one way or the other, but it surely is not helping the Democrats, and it's not helping Hillary, is it? Look, I'm going to go on a little bit. I raise the issue because the turnout for the Democrats in caucuses and the primaries so far has been abysmal. It's down about 30% from where it was in 2012 and 2008.
Well, first of all, when you look at the Republican field, you have a lot more choices than you do in the Democratic side. Second of all, historically, turnout for Democrats, if you have a very high turnout for Democrats, and we've seen in the past, we've had a Republican elected, and that was George Daddy Bush. When he was elected, Democrats had record number turnout. So I don't think it's necessarily a guaranteed indicator that in November we're going to see in the general election Democrats stay home. In addition, Stu, when we look at the demographics of the Republican Party, you have a lot of the older voters, you have a lot of the white voters, people who have jobs that don't keep them away from a caucus. Remember, at a caucus, you got to be there all day, hours, often on a Saturday. A lot of blue-collar workers work 6-day weeks.
That's your explanation?
I'm, as a Democrat, I am not worried that the turnout has been higher in the primaries and caucuses for the Republicans and the Democrats.
Come on, it's the Republicans who fired up the people, and the Democrats have not.
Oh, I don't agree that the Democrats haven't fired up. I mean, even though I'm a Hillary girl, I mean, Senator Sanders has brought out a lot of youth that normally would not come out.
So we've
seen great numbers for him.
The turnout isn't there.
The turnout, I believe the turnout will be there in November. Just like Democrats seem to stay home, and I hate it, my fellow Democrats stop staying home in the midterm elections. You just don't see the numbers except in those record years, and it wasn't a guarantee win for a Democrat as president. And regarding those emails, it does come down to, did she send them or receive them?
No, it doesn't.
And was the person sending them also using a private server like former National Security Advisor McDonough?
It does not come down to that.
And this level of investigation is necessary to be able to look at phone records and to be able to interview witnesses.
It does not come down to that.
I don't think you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see an indictment. I don't think you're going to see her taking handcuffs.
Go back to the original sin, which is judgment. On what grounds does a former First Lady and a Secretary of State decide that she is going to have a private server at her home in Chappaqua on which to receive all kinds of secret information? That is terrible judgment.
Terrible judgment isn't necessarily criminal and doesn't necessarily...
I don't care whether it's criminal or not. It's going to be judged politically. What kind of judgment is that?
It will be judged politically, and I'm very confident that the American people will put it in proper perspective when November turns around.
Okay. I'm just going to update a poll that I've just received, and it's about Florida, and this is the Republicans. I'm going to bring it to your attention.
Okay.
I know you're a Democrat, but I'll bring it to your attention. It's from Florida. Justin, what is it again? Trump 44, Rubio 28. Now, if Rubio can't... No, you're a Democrat. I shouldn't be really talking to you about this.
No, you can talk to me about this.
If Rubio cannot win his home state and he's behind by that much, he's finished. He's out of the race. And not yet. I mean, that's being extreme. But he's got a real tough road to hoe, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Which means that Trump is going to get it.
Well, let's, although I'm a pessimist, let's be a little more optimistic for Marco Rubio, first of all, for the GOP, if nothing else, okay? Because I think that Donald Trump is not good for the GOP. I certainly don't think Donald Trump is good for the country. And even though I'm not a Republican, I do think that Marco Rubio is more of a proper candidate for the GOP and for the country. Marco Rubio needs to get Carson and Cruz's supporters. He needs to look at the exit polls that show last-minute deciders do not go for Trump, and he needs to really, work his butt off to figure out, how do I get those people in that 11th hour? And I don't know, with that kind of a spread between him and Trump, if he can, if nothing else, he loses great face in Florida.
If it was Sanders versus Rubio,
yes,
could you vote for Rubio?
No.
You'd vote for Sanders?
Correct.
You'd vote for a socialist?
Well, yes, I would vote for Senator Sanders because as a Democrat, we have more of the same ideology. Not 100%, but more than I would with Marco Rubio.
Socialism is so moral, isn't it? Right, let me ask you this, because I've asked I've asked several Democrats on the program. I've never got an answer. What should be the top rate of tax?
You know, we talked about this before the break. This is how I feel. I feel to whom much is given, much is expected.
Can you give me a number?
I don't know what number would be accurate. I don't feel that.
Well, don't you have any feeling on this?
I do feel that, you know, Warren Buffett should be paying more taxes than his secretary.
No, that's not the question. Can you not tell me what you think should be the top rate of tax? Can you tell me?
I really don't know. I really don't know, but I do know that there.
It's 43% at the moment. What should it be?
One of the problems, and you said you pay a lot more.
I do. That's because I live in New York City.
Right.
And I pay,
Right.
But come on,
Right.
the top rate of tax at the federal level is 43%. What should it be?
Well, I don't really have a problem with that percentage.
Wait a minute. The people you want to vote for want it more.
I don't have a problem with that percentage or putting more in, because I do believe, and I look at the merits in other countries of education provided,
you have no
healthcare provided.
with taking half of someone's income. You have no problem with that at all.
I think that we're doing that right now. My husband and I are paying about that.
You have no problem with that. You have no problem with that.
No.
You don't?
No, because I feel that we're very blessed, and I have no problem sharing. I like driving down roads that don't have potholes in them. I like driving over bridges that don't collapse. I like feeling that I live in a free and a safe nation, and that costs money
and yet
to
you
operate.
want more. You want more than half.
Oh, no, not that I want more, but if we close the tax loopholes and we don't,
for someone who
it's
makes
different
us
if
pay
somebody who's
more.
supposed to pay, let's say, 43, 50%, and has all of those deductions, and they have those very expensive accountants who make it that their money isn't being paid in taxes. They're buying Turkish bonds. They got money overseas in other bank accounts.
They nailed down all of those deductions back in the 1970s. They're gone. If you've got a big income on the books from an employer, you're really messed up. You will pay more than half your income.
Well, when I get that big income, no, but
you want me to pay more.
Seriously,
I've got 6 kids.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. I've got 6 kids,
yes,
9 grandchildren. I work 12 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. I get out of bed at 3:30 every morning. I pay 61% of my income in taxes, income taxes, and you want more.
It's not personal. It's not about you.
Oh, it is with me.
I know. I know it is.
All right, thanks very much, Leslie Marshall. A smile on my face is only goodbye. Thank you very much. Free speech.